Welcome everyone, today we have a new guide for Honkai Star Rail. Now this video is to help me and also you guys to prepare for the day 1 launch of the game, which will be coming very soon, and also what to do on the first week of the game. So I want to write a lot of detailed notes on different plans if you're planning to reroll. If you're not planning to reroll, we have lots of information, lots of plans over here to grab as many free loots, as many premium summons as you can in the first week and also the first day of the game. So I want to go through a lot of notes and a lot of guide to you guys, and hopefully after this video you have a clear path of what to do in the game. And also if you haven't seen our previous videos, we'll talk about what mistakes to avoid and also what are the dungeons you can do in the game. So we do have a lot of previous guide that can also be helpful. If you have time, definitely watch it while you play the game or re-rolling. Now this video will be broken down into 2 parts. Because I know some of the players like me will be re-rolling for the game, we have a part talking about the day 1 re-rolling plan. Now if you're not re-rolling, you can use the timestamp to see the parts that you don't have to re-roll and just play the game, and what's the best way to go through the progression wall, different ways of getting more materials and also farming monsters and getting more chests. But of course guys, if you do not get a great 5-star after your 50 beginner summon, or less than 50 beginner summons if you're lucky enough, and don't watch the last video, see the trap ones, don't keep summoning on the beginner's banner once you get 5 stars. And you can still summon and reroll with that plan. So come back to the reroll plans if you want. So coming back to our video and back to our notes. I'll start the first part with rerolling and what is my reroll plan on day 1. And then we'll go over to the day 1 plan that if you're not rerolling. So just bear with me. Now if I'm rerolling, I'll be rerolling on the standard banner. I have made over 30 accounts, and if you guys are having trouble with making accounts, so over here just a quick tips. One of my viewers said if you're having trouble registering for accounts, come over to the official miHoYo site and register this way. This seems to be much easier to register this way, and they don't proc the IP error. And I was able to make over 30 accounts this way, and this allows me to plan for lots of rerolling. Now because rerolling is very slow and tedious, I do have a plan. If you see our previous guide, we have lots of guide. Make sure you see our previous guide with rerolling options and rerolling plan, which I'll be rerolling cross-platform with my iPad, my phone and also my computer. So at least 3 times faster than just rerolling once. So make sure you check the previous video about that. Now that we talk about rerolling, one thing I want to highlight with you guys is you're expecting about 11% chance to get your 5-star with 20 rolls. And this is what we get with the standard banner. And keep in mind, the 11% does not include the characters, because 11% half of that is the weapons. So this will take a while. But I do have a few options once I'm rerolling. I'll be going for Brownia and also Balu because they're the best supporting character that are 5-star. Those will be my top picks. Other than that, I also want the starting character to be a character that can deal damage. And this can be Clara, Yanqing and also Himiko. Now if you guys haven't seen the update notes on Himiko, she actually got a buff. I might make a video on that too, so we'll talk about this. So yes, those 3 characters can do more damage. Yes, Walt also got a buff, but as a supporting character, as a starting character, he might not be my priority to reroll. So you can see I'm looking for at least 5 characters and 2 of the top ones. Now hopefully I have over 30 accounts, and a few of my accounts may be getting a few 5-star characters on the first 10 or 20 rolls. And even if that is not a character, if I get a weapon, I might still play that account for another 10 to 30 minutes for the Trailblazer level 5. I do believe we get 10 more rolls at level 5, and this means I have more chance to reroll on different banners. And this is what gets interesting on day 1. You have to make a decision. Initially, maybe save all the accounts that with a 5-star, so don't make the decision too soon. After the whole day of a few hours of rerolling, you might be too tired and don't want to use a greedy method. The greedy method is to keep rerolling on the standard banner after getting your first 5-star. So you try to get 2 5-stars on the standard banner within the first 30 or 40 pulls. So this is very greedy but very interesting. While your chance of getting a 5-star with a 10 pull is about 3%. And this also means that if we happen to get 2 5-stars on the standard banner rerolling, we'll guarantee 1 more 5-stars with a beginner's banner. So this is the ultimate greedy method, and of course if you get lucky with limited banner with Shelly, and this is also even better, right? Now the less greedier method, if you're really tired from rerolling, you have a few 5-stars, you start rolling on a beginner's banner. And I'll recommend playing a little longer if you're rolling on a beginner's banner, at least have 20 or 30 pulls. So this way, this will take you about 30 to 2 hours, 30 minutes to 2 hours to get 20 or 30 more pulls in the game. because at the start, your Trailblazer level, a lot of content give you free currencies. And this is when we can try our luck on getting the second 5-star. And if you like the combination of the 5 stars you have, so the standard banner 5-star plus the character 5-star for the beginner's banner, then we can play the game with a pretty hefty advantage of 5-star characters. Now once we have accounts with at least 2 5-stars or even 3 5-stars, we can decide which account we want to play on. Now because there's a lot of characters like Clara that can actually counter enemies, and also characters like Himiko can be really good for the burning build. What I'm thinking is I might be playing multiple accounts free to play to the point that I want to invest just a monthly card maybe. I don't recommend spending a lot of money in the game, at least at the start. And one of the things that allows me to play multiple accounts as I'm rerolling is simply because we know Honkai Star Rail is gated by energy, which we'll talk about in the second part. And because it's gated by energy, you can play multiple accounts because you don't get to play as much as you can every day. Well, you can play more if you pay money because you can pay for the energies, right? We'll talk about that as well. Now coming over to the second part, this is what I do if I'm not rerolling, and this is what I do after I'm successful with rerolling. And this will go from day 1 into the whole week. So it's kind of mixed together. I can't say which days you do what. Maybe we'll have a specific video in the future. But for now, it's a day 1 plan, and this goes into a weekly plan. So on the first day, what you want to do is you want to play through the story, go through the quest and unlock daily trainings. This is your daily quest or daily commissions. This is a must do. On top of the 63 jade you get every day, there's tons of Trailblazer experience, which will push you into higher content. Because what you're going to find in the game as you play, you're going to find a progression wall. And this will limit how much main story, this will limit the side stories, the dungeons, and also the character, and also everything. The weapons, the relics upgrade, everything is limited by your Trailblazer level. And this is why you want as many Trailblazer experience as you can in the game. Now as we start the game, one way to get more Trailblazer level is by spending the Trailblazer energy. What a cool system, right? Well, this is the progression wall that is designed in most of the gacha games. So how this works is, we will be spending energy, and as we spend energy, we'll get experience for the account level. Now one thing I do want to highlight is, as you spend those Trailblazer energy, there's no need to spend all of it. As long as we spend it, it starts to regeneration over time. And those energy do get carried over to the next day. So what I recommend is do enough of your energy spending. We'll talk about what to spend on the energy, of course, next part. So then wait for the next day, the daily reset, to do your daily training first. And then allow yourself to do all the daily training missions, get high experience, and unlock your progression cap, and then see what other options you have with your energy. So this way we're always saving spare energies almost to the maximum level to the next day, because we know each of the next day will get higher levels, and with higher levels comes with more content and also more things we can do with energy, and also higher level dungeons. Now there are of course other ways of playing the game as we hit the progression wall and waiting for the energy to regenerate. We'll talk about buying energy as well, don't worry guys, we'll talk about that. So I just want to give you guys a first highlight. So one thing is, you can clear the overworld enemies. Now I have seen a lot of people saying in the beta, enemies do not respawn. And some people were saying in the beta they respawn daily. So just like the chests back in Genshin Impact, right? So we'll find out. If they do respawn daily, we'll find a route to farm them to get you more credits, which are like gold in the game. And we'll be getting more materials from the monsters. Because monsters will be dropping materials, even the lesser monsters that drops lesser materials can be crafted into higher materials. And this allows you to upgrade your characters and become stronger. Now as you wait for energy to regen and as you clear monsters, make sure you use the functions of the map to see the location of enemies and also additional chests. And this will give you additional loot and also stellar jade. So here you can see the summaries of what is available in terms of the challenges, and you can clear those according to each of the maps. And as we get more materials, more items, as we upgrade characters, you want to prioritize on which of the characters you're upgrading. So around this stage of the game, your day 1 is pretty much in function. You get your daily missions, you do your dungeons, you do fighting monsters, and you spend your energies. And now you want to decide which character to invest. What I recommend is, other than the main DPS damage dealing characters, you also want to invest in universal supporting characters. Those characters should technically help you with any team, any combat, and Ting is one of the best 4-star supporting character. Now if you don't have Ting, investing in the free-to-play free Esther support with higher speed is also not bad. Now if you do get lucky enough with a 5-star support, Bronya and also Welt are the 2 best supporting characters in the game. Of course, you also want to consider investing in the healers. So notice that 3 positions taken up by those characters. And if you want to see our previous videos, we have a tier list for the 4 stars and also the 5-star characters, the best one to go for. Now because we have limited energy, we always want to make sure to spend energy for resource for the above characters because they will be universal for most of the content. And this will be especially important as we come over to the next part. So here we'll briefly talk about what to spend your energy on the first day and also on the first week. Now once you have upgraded some of your characters, we do want to get into the simulated universe. Now it's quite important that we do simulated universe in the week and also get as many weekly points as we can because there's tons of reward. If you haven't seen that, we have a previous video about the simulated universe. There is actually tons of reward that you want to be claiming. I said a lot of those over here, so you can see all the rewards over here. So just a brief touch up, you can be getting additional 2 sets of relics from the planetary element pieces. You can also be purchasing free 5-star weapons. We'll talk about that very soon. So maybe next video, because there's a lot to talk about. So recommend doing the simulated universe on day 1 if you get it, and then, in the week, you should be doing this a lot. Now during this time, if you're free, if you're looking at the battle pass, I don't recommend buying the battle pass right away. You will backtrack after for everything you've done, and you don't kind of lose out anything. Other than, you don't want to rush the battle pass, right? So look at the free quests and also the daily tasks for the battle pass. Try to get as many experiences as you can in the battle pass. Now, we mentioned earlier about spending your Stellar Jade premium currency for the Trailblazer power, which will be the energy in the game. If you have played Genshin Impact, you know that the cost of getting refill energies will go up each refill for each of the days. So at the start we have 50, to the end of it we have 200 cost for 60 energy. So what I recommend for free-to-play players or the low spending players is that buying the first one is actually always a bargain if it looks to progress a little faster. And this is the cheapest deal at 50, right? And then after that, if you're a low spending player, if you have the monthly card, if you don't want to save up too much of your gems, you can go for the 75. But it is not recommended, because if you look at the 75, if you buy all 3, you're getting 160 Trailblazer power for about 200 of the Jade, and that's 1 summon. Every day you lose out on 1 summon just because you get a little faster. Currently we do not have PvP in the game, and there's no need to rush in the game. You can clear the content faster, but why don't you sit around for 1 day for 1 extra summon, right? We only get 60 extra Stellar Jade every day from the daily missions. So the 60 Stellar Jade can be spent on the 50 additional energy, but it is optional. Most of the free-to-play players, after a week or 2, stop buying energy. So be careful guys, this is definitely a money trap, and this sinks a lot of free summons from your free-to-play currency. I only recommend buying the first one, to be honest, if you want to go a little faster. Now as you play through the game, there is also the tutorial for the players, and this is called the Operation Briefing. Now once you go through the Operation Briefing, some of those are very fast, other ones requires you complete certain missions or enhance characters. Those are pretty straightforward. So feel free to get additional mats and also materials throughout the first day and throughout the first week to clear this for additional Jade as well, and also credits. Now briefly talking about my first week's plan with upgrading my relics, those are the gears in the game. So I start off with a 4-star relics if I can. I'll be wearing 3-star relics, but I probably won't upgrade them. With 4-star relics, if they have the right main stats for my DPS character, I'll go with attack percentage and also elemental damage for those. And I'll aim to get to level 6 on the first day if I can for most of the, the high damage dealers, the high damage dealing relics for my DPS characters. And once everything's on level 6, we go for level 9. Now for the 5-star legendary relics, I can go for those for level 9 or level 12. And if they're really good, I still won't go to level 15. This is for the first week. This is because the cost of going a legendary relic to 15 is so high, you can get like 3 level 12 relics. So you get a little bit bonus of stats like this much, but you waste this much energy. Oh no, you waste this much material. So for the relics, I recommend only going to level 12 if it's good. And then after a week, maybe the 2nd or 3rd week, go for 15 for everything. Now, if you guys are wailing and if you're spending all your energies, not like me, right? If you guys are getting, lots of energy, well, then you can go for level 50 on the first week. Now, before we finish the video, I didn't want to make it too long. We'll make more guys videos like this one. So before we finish, one thing I want to know, and if you guys do have confirmation, let me know in the description below. This is very important. We need to know the server reset time. I don't have any confirmation at the moment, but the server reset time is, some people are saying it's on the launch time. The game will launch at 10 AM China time. So previously with Genshin Impact, they used to reset the servers around 5 or 6 AM China time, depending on the daylight saving. And the weekly reset will be on the Monday for the daily reset time. So it is very important, guys, we know those reset times, because dungeons and also events resets daily, weekly, with different rotations and also different loots. And just a warning, if you guys are in the US or different parts of the world, the China time tends to be ahead of the world time. Sometimes you might think you still have one more day, but in China it's already Monday, and things will change each of the week. You do not want to miss out a week of events and also items in the game. So let me know, guys. Once we have the timer, I'll let you know as well. Now, before you go, and if you guys didn't know, we have a new YouTube channel. And if you guys haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe and check out the behind the scenes and also fun clips and also more stories about us. And then you get to know me a little more personally instead of just reading the news and also the games, right? So I want to share a little bit more with you guys. So make sure you check this channel out if you're interested about Matt and also Uni. She's really funny too. And she's really shy. So I want to give her a surprise and do a shout out for the new channel to get some subscribers. Thank you guys. I'll see you guys next time.